Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and this is the latest update from Ukraine. Here you can see a couple of the Russian tanks. So here's the video. They were stopped by Ukrainian FPV drone attacks and later on Ukraine just finishes the job with the drone drops or bomb drops, as you may see over here. Again, we see how Russia just wastes their vehicles in attempt to get more ground. Sometimes they are quite successful, for example in Avdiivka with their attack on the northern flank, but here they obviously failed. It happened near to Bilohorivka in Luhansk Oblast. Those were modernized Russian T-72B3 tanks with some of the grill and extra armor, but nevertheless they were kaputted by Ukrainian drones. From the trails we may see that they attacked from this direction but were forced to turn back because of the Ukrainian ambushment, let's say, of a couple of tanks. You also may see that Russia is not using dozens of the tanks in their convoys. Here were just a couple of vehicles, that's it, so they're changing the strategy. The Bilogorivka is located over here, this is the place, and Russia already lost many of the vehicles trying to get this small village under their control, so far unsuccessfully. Pardon guys, it's not a small village, it's a regular one. I want to show you. There are actually lots of the buildings out there. According to Mykosk 73 military analytic, Russia tried to attack this place for a very long time, even using some of the aviation bombs directly on the village, but their vehicles, as you can see there, were burning, so it's a good sign. Plus we have some probably good news from Avdiivka. Let's go for it. It seems like Ukraine sent the most capable forces on the east, the 3rd Assault Brigade, into Avdiivka town. We got this information from some of the media sources. They rely to General Ternavsky, who spoke about the newly arrived forces to the city, or it's better to say town in this case. The general didn't say about the 3rd Assault Brigade in particular, but we know from other sources that it could be true. However, some of the pro-Ukrainian channels start to say that no, this information is fake, but the origin of the information is coming from the General Ternavsky, and they really want to reinforce Avdiivka place. Whether it's good decision, I'm out of clue, only time might show. For example, defending the Bakhmut city for a very long time was after all a bad decision from Ukrainian commander Syrsky. Because Wagner captured the city after all and Ukraine got severe losses in the Bakhmut city, hopefully it will not be the same in Avdiivka for our guys who went to reinforce this perimeter. And we already know that some of the Russian soldiers surrendered for Ukrainian army in this particular spot on the northern part of Avdiivka. We even have some of the photo of the Russian Denazificator. You may see quite interesting job from the tattoo master. Some say that this is the Ukrainian flag, but no, it's the flag of the Russian Empire. So it goes with white, then yellow and black. It was in Russia not for a very long time, but still they had it, and the meaning, well, the meaning is the same as for the Confederate flag in the United States of America, that you are against the system or something like that. You may actually find those kind of freaks in any kind of the country, but Putin uses those kind of freaks from Ukrainian side to justify his aggression and denazification. At the same time, his army performs atrocities against civilians in Ukraine. So who are the real Nazis? Ukrainians or those who behave as Nazis and in this particular case even look like Nazis with all of those tattoos? Indeed, a true Russian denazificator. I'm still waiting for the latest update from Avdiivka. For today we haven't got it yet. Anyways, from what I know, there was no encirclement of this place with the Ukrainian army, and Russia probably cut this road, but I'm not sure. We have different information coming from the front lines. So it's better to wait for some recent update about the case. Let's go to the Kharkiv Oblast over here near to Terny. You see that Russia already tries to attack even Kharkiv Oblast. They try to find the weak spot and they advance towards Terny. We have the confirmation it from the Mykosk 73 source. Here Ukraine tried to counterattack, but unfortunately lost some of the vehicles, and Russia advances with their infantry forces directly to Terny. using the higher ground in the space. So this area over here is on a high ground, which gives the Russian army a little advancement over Ukrainian side in moving towards Terny. But Russia lost the Solntseperk rocket artillery system somewhere in the place. Let's watch the video. Those are always awesome to watch, but I'm gonna show you just screenshots because recently my videos were restricted, some of them, because I'm showing you the constant image. So if we go to the screenshots, everything will be more or less okay for YouTube. So here we go, the big kaboom of the system, and this is the explosion from the close perspective. Somewhere, oh, here we have it. And some of the videos, unfortunately, I'm unable to show you on this platform. For example, like this one, there are some of the dots going somewhere, and this is the screen of Ukrainian Stugna P, the anti-tank and also anti-infantry missile this time. But you may see all of my extra content on my Telegram channel, where there is the low censorship compared to this platform. I'll put the link for my Telegram in the video description just below. Russia continued to use the kamikaze drones to target Ukrainian positions, and here you may see how good technology goes to the wrong hands of the Russian soldiers. I'll turn on the volume and let's watch the video.
Давай, Леха, двигателя.
Вот так работает наша авиация. Ох ты, блядь, заебись, авиация отработала.
Cameraman says this is the job of our aviation, and later on he says that aviation job completed. I wonder what is this model, because I couldn't find on the Russian websites that they have twin-engine kamikaze drones. Probably they were bought somewhere from China. And because of that stuff, the European Union applies new sanctions on some of the Chinese companies and also Indian companies which help Russian military. It's an outstanding step from the European Union, but still it should be agreed with all of the countries. And as usual, I think Hungary will be against those sanctions. Alright, we have just received a new military map update. Let's update this page. So from what I can see, there is no movement from the enemy in Avdiivka. It was yesterday, it is today, nothing. But there is the only update from Ivanovsky village, and here Russia unfortunately moved a little. Let's go and see the picture fully. It was yesterday and it is today. They really advanced kind of fast, even in this hard terrain. So before they occupied Hromova, it is, by the way, not far away from the Bakhmut city. This is Bakhmut, and here Russian forces continue to advance towards Ivanovsky, and their main goal is to go to Chasiv Yar. Let's check out the distance between the Chasiv Yar and the Russian positions. We have a ruler tool here, so between Russian positions and Chasiv Yar is just 5.4 kilometers, a little bit less than 4 miles. So it's not okay for Ukrainian army, but terrain here is kind of difficult from what I can see. And before the Chasiv Yar, there is some sort of the settlement. Over here, we don't have the name of it. Probably it belongs to Norway. So Russia will try to reach this part. But here we can see that there is a river ongoing. Is it? Yes, it is a river, the channel. And later on, Russian army has to cross it. So it's a natural obstacle for Russians in this place. So Chasiv Yar for now is secured, but Russia has it as a goal for this attack operation. So the deep state gives this picture to share Russian advancement for today, but happily they didn't advance in Avdiivka. It seems like Elon Musk finally understood that the interview of Putin to Carlson is a total failure. He even tweeted, "The best answer by far. Mr. Putin, why did you invade Ukraine? I'm just coming to that. You see, on May 28, 2016, a gorilla was shot in the Cincinnati Zoo." So he says that Putin said total nonsense. And we all understand that Putin is a sick person. This is the main conclusion from this interview. Even Carlson was so surprised about it that he was not even hiding his emotions during the interview and after it. Meanwhile, Ukrainian military intelligence confirmed that Russia obtained lots of the Starlink antennas and those terminals through the third countries. Probably it was done via smuggling schemes, but still Russia got those Starlinks. Yesterday I showed you the advertisement from one of the Russian websites where you may get the Starlink, so you may get Starlink in Russia. The Russian representative Nebeza also gave the interview to the Western media sources. He said that there will be no any compromise from the Russian side if we speak about territories of Kherson, Zaporizhia, Donetsk and Luhansk. Russia put them in their constitution, so they will continue to fight for them, taking full control over those territories. And based from what we see in Kharkiv Oblast, Russia also wants to create Kharkiv's People's Republic and later on put it to the Russian Federation as well. It means that any kind of the ceasefire will now be taken by Russia just to reinforce their army and attack again. And if we speak about the global strategy, taking those Ukrainian regions is just a temporary goal for the Russian Federation. They want to eliminate all of Ukraine and Ukrainian culture, because Putin said about it in his interview that he doesn't see any kind of the Ukrainian people out there. Those are Russians, he says. But you know, this trend is dangerous for Putin too, because Mongolia may start its military operation. I'm joking, but the ex-president of Mongolia said that if we speak about the boundaries of the countries from 13th century, so here are they. I'll zoom it in for you, so here we go. The Golden Horde was all around the Asia, touching Europe, actually vast part of the Europe, of the Eurasia, and including lots of the territories of the current Russian Federation. I would say all the territories, because the northern part, hopefully you can see over here, is basically unusable for living because of the very cold temperatures during the winter time. But with the modern technologies, obviously Russia created some of the settlements around there, mostly in the oil spots or the places where they may dig down for some of the iron, nickel, alloy and other stuff. Sadly, but some of our allies are still sending the equipment to the Russian Federation, obviously not directly, but via the third countries. Russia has some of the schemes to obtain the critical military equipment for their army. For example, UK supplies 100 million value of the military equipment to the Russian Federation. It's just crazy amount. We have this information from the Times. It is the British resource, so probably they know what they're talking about. Hopefully those channels, those supplies will be stopped finally. Here we have the video from the front lines. Those are our guys, and you see the condition of the soil out there. Temperature rose above the freezing point, but this week it will turn below freezing point again, and some of the meteor sources say that it may go down to -15. Those temperature fluctuations are just crazy during the winter time in Ukraine, and this is crazy too. Oh my god. Here we have one more video where Ukrainian vehicle just stuck with ATV on a trailer, so I don't think they're gonna put it out without the Caterpillar vehicle. Definitely it is no go in this weather. This is the most intense evacuation video I have ever seen. Guys put the wounded soldier in a truck, and here drone nearly hit the truck. It hit the ground probably 4 feet away, causing the damages to the car, and probably this guy also was injured. I'll share this video obviously on my Telegram channel. This is outstanding video, and luckily our guys been evacuated, even though our guys were wounded, but still they are alive, thanks God. And you see, Russia uses lots of the FPV drones nowadays. Unfortunately, if it goes like that, they will take initiative from Ukraine in FPV usage. I believe that this is the archive video, and it was filmed during the autumn time based on the wear of our soldiers, but it was published just today. Russia is using their M24 Attack Helicopters to follow the drones which were spotted in the skies of Russian Federation, let's say, and sometimes they're quite successful in targeting those drones, but helicopters were not made to target the air targets. They usually operate on the ground only. That is why I saw many of the videos how they waste lots of the bullets, and finally some of the bullet may hit the drone or not. About the HIMARS artillery systems, there were some of the damages because of the war. For example, this vehicle rolled over the mine, and here we see the damage and the absence of the wheel. The other unit was shrapnelled, maybe because of artillery or maybe because Russia used the Lancet drones. Here's the front part of the other system, and you may clearly see the shrapnel is everywhere around. It is even marked with those stickers. The damage was done to the frontal part, including the wheel, also the aft part, plus the central part where the fuel tank is located. They have been delivered to the United States of America, to the maintenance facility, and I don't think that the maintenance will take lots of the time. Good news from the Rheinmetall, the German military concern. They'll supply many more shells for the Gepard tanks of Ukrainian army. We are speaking about 150,000 shells this year, and the same number will be in 2025. Serbia also supplied those shells for the RPG-7. You may see the marking, and those, even the Russian military bloggers say that those shells are made in Serbia. This photo was taken in Iran yesterday. You may see many of the Iranian-made drones on top of the Tundra Toyota trucks. I think those trucks are just used for transportation. The launching spot is different, not those cars. This is how Ukraine shuts down those drones with the help of the American-made Vampire system. You may see the pointing and the rocket flies targeting the Shahid drone quite successfully, and the second target was also successfully targeted. The Vampire air defense system looks like that, and it is also mounted probably on Toyota truck. The interesting stuff about the Vampire that it also could be used against the tanks and some of the infantry vehicles on the front lines, which makes it very versatile. Those papers Russians will see before the elections, so here we have the information about the candidates. Try to find the difference between four of them. But in any case, Putin has a massive support among Russians, overwhelmingly larger compared to opposition forces. And here you see the skiers who performed this symbol. Yeah, not this one, but here on the bottom. But you know, what's the difference between? No difference almost. The Russian helicopters and some of the airplanes were moved from Russia to fight against Russia. At least that is what Russian FSB says. They start the prosecution against the Russian aviation authorities. Probably here we are speaking about Mi-8 helicopters. Yes, indeed, some of them were sent to the third countries, and Ukraine got them into their army. So, awesome deal. However, FSB found it out somehow. My friends, don't forget to press your huge like to this video. By doing so, you help me a lot. And also, if you want to support my job, you may check out some of the links in the video description just below. You may support me on Patreon or just on a sponsorship of this channel. Thank you so much for your awesome support. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.